Alright, what's up everybody? Maddox here, welcome back to the Pokehistorian. Today we're looking at the Shining Legends set of Pokemon cards on the Dex app. It's a very well-known set from the Sun and Moon era. It marked the return of Shining Pokemon, and it's got the Mewtwo card in it, so it's got some good stuff. So let's go ahead and dive in and see what we're working with here. Alright, first up we got this Bulbasaur by Mizzou, hanging out by a little river. Got some bubbles flying around in the air. This Bulbasaur looks very pettable. I would give it 2 pets. Then we got Ivysaur by Koki Saito, frolicking through the grasslands, looking very happy. Got old Venusaur here with its mouth wide open, looking very ferocious. Would not want to mess with that Pokemon. Then we got Shroomish, stomping around in the woods with its mouth wide open. And we got Breloom here, the evolution, hanging out in a nice flower field, looking very, very happy. Spores all around it. You can see some sunshine over there in the top left-hand corner. Very nice card. We got a Kamiya card here. We got Carnivine. Carnivine looking especially bashful here. Very interesting. I don't know what Carnivine is thinking in this particular artwork. We got Shaman, an iconic and legendary grass Pokemon, flying through the flower fields. Looking very bold. I like old Shaman. I like the hedgehog form better than the flying form, but still pretty cool. Here we got Virizion by Kawayu, the same illustrator who did the Lugia from Silver Tempest. Not a bad picture. Here we got our first Shining Pokemon, Shining Genesect. Kind of reminds me a lot of the Shining Kabuto from Neo Destiny. I wonder if that's what they were going for here. I've heard rumors before that actually Genesect is a modified version of Kabuto with like robotics. I don't know if it's true or not, but you can kind of see it when you compare the Pokemon next to one another. And this artwork definitely gets your brain thinking about that since it's so similar to the Neo Destiny one. Here we got Entei GX, 5-band graphics, very standard looking. Typical 5-band. We got another Entei. So they have 2 in this set for some reason. Do they have the same attacks? Yep, same attacks. Why would they do that? Oh, well, I'm not going to worry about it. We got Torkoal here. Suwama Chiyoki. Kind of a nice artistic depiction of Torkoal here. Leaning up against the rocks. Shooting some steam out of its back. Kind of an underrated Pokemon. Now we got Larvesta here by Kawayu. Like the colors on that one. Volcarona. You know, it's interesting. I feel like we see a lot of Volcarona cards in the Pokemon TCG. And I feel like Volcarona's not that popular of a Pokemon, so I wonder why. It's not a terrible Pokemon, just I feel like we see a lot of it. Got Reshiram here by Tokia. Flying through the skies. Kind of a cool picture of Reshiram. Never really seen an artwork of Reshiram just like this. Gotta love those blue eyes on it too, huh? Really makes the Pokemon pop. Got a little Litten here by Arita, licking its paw. Pretty cute. Got Torracat, starting to gain some muscle there. Damn. And it's frolicking through the countryside. Incineroar there, shooting a giant fire blast out of its belt. Nice action pose by Ando. Don't recognize a lot of these artists. Well, this is a nice Totodile by Tokia. I feel like I've seen this one before. Looks like it's kind of climbing up a waterfall or something. Can't go wrong with old Totodile. Croconaw. Hanging out in the water with some plant life growing around it. Noki Saito. Means, and here's a Feraligatr using presumably this Hydro Splash attack. Looking very mean there. Wow. Would not mess with that Pokemon. We got Quillfish all blown up. Cool. Buizel. What a heartwarming piece of artwork. Just relaxing by the riverside. Nothing wrong with doing that, folks, especially as we get closer to summer. I got Floatzel here, coming up onto the sand out of the water. Looks like we have like a little lighthouse or something in the background there. We got Palkia, one of the legendary god Pokemon. God of space, I believe. Here we got Manaphy here. Super underrated Pokemon by Hamino, but not my favorite artwork of Manaphy. There's some good ones out there, but this one just looks okay. But Hamino does do a lot of great work. All right, we got Keldeo by Kodama. Interesting. Looks like it's surrounded by ice or something. We got another Shining Pokemon here. We got Shining Volcanion. I do like the colors on this Shining version of Volcanion, though. Very interesting. Got some blue, some purple, some orange. Definitely pops. Not a very popular Pokemon, but kind of a cool card. Here we got Pikachu hanging out by a rainbow by Hamino. Definitely seen this card a few times. Definitely one of the better Pikachu artworks, I would say. Here we got Raichu GX, another 5-band graphics card. Nothing too special there. Voltorb hanging out by a sunset. Electrode, looking joyful as ever, if not a little mischievous. And we got Raikou by Arita. Like this card. Very nice depiction of Raikou. In fact, I think Arita did a Raikou card for Skyridge too. So that's kind of neat. We got Plusle here. Kamiya artwork, dancing along with Minim. That's neat. Causing some sparks there by rubbing their tails against each other. Kind of funny. Looks like a disco party. Yeah, look, I think that's like a disco ball up there. That's cool. I want to go to that party. We got Minim here. Now Plusle and Minim are running through the forest, dancing around. We got Zekrom by Nagimiso. Causing some purple electricity. That's different. Ekans. Snakes always creep me out. Arbok. Kodama. Hanging out in the desert. Wonder if there's a Sandaconda nearby. We got Jinx here. This has got to be Kamiya. I'm not sure what to think of this one. What is Jinx doing here? It looks like it's making faces like at a baby or something. You know when like people play peekaboo with a baby? I feel like that's what Jinx looks like it's doing here. Very strange. Alright, we got Mewtwo GX, 5-band graphics again. Honestly, for a 5-band card, this one's not terrible. I don't mind it. I think it's even doing a little psychic strike type move right there. Here's a classic, the old Shining Mew. I do love this card. I think this is the first blue Mew card we had seen since the Mew for Dragon Frontiers, the Mew Gold Star. Don't quote me on that though. But definitely a nice depiction of Mew. And in fact, I think, yeah, so the only card that had officially been known as Shining Mew before this one was the Koru Koru promo. So it was cool to finally get a Shining Mew card in English, even if it's not the same artwork as the Koru Koru promo. Love it. Got Latios here flying through the city with Latios in the background by Arita. That's cool. I feel like Arita's always drawing Latios and Latios. And I also feel like they're always at this city. I have to look that up. I feel like I've seen several cards in that city. We got Shining Jirachi. This is a nice one. Jirachi is another one of those underrated Pokemon. The Wish Pokemon by Nagishi. We got Golett here, showing off, lifting a giant boulder. Kind of a cool Pokemon. Here we got Golurk. I didn't know Golurk could turn into a rocket. Did you all? That's interesting. And look in the background there, you got Reshiram too. A couple Pokemon rockets there taking off in the middle of this thunderstorm, looks like. Hamino artwork. I might need to put this on my list. That's kind of interesting. I'm going to add this to my list of cards I want. That's different. Very different. I did not know Golurk could turn into a rocket. That's wild. All right, we got Marshadow here, posing for us in the sunset. or the sunrise. Stunfisk at the Beach by Kimura. Simple but kind of elegant for Stunfisk. I can dig it. Spiritomb hanging out in a cave. Koki Saito. Got Purloin here, causing some mischief in the city by Kimura. That's a cool card too. I like it. Got Liepard. That's got to be Kawaii. Yep. You can just tell. After you look at these artists for a while, you can just start to tell who's who by looking at the depictions of the Pokemon. Scraggy here, holding up its britches as always. It's got a stick for some reason. Here's Scrafty. This Pokemon always looks like a punk to me. In fact, it's even called the Hoodlum Pokemon, so I shouldn't be surprised. We got Zorua here. Whoa. Hanging out with Zoroark. Nice and cozy at night. Kodama. That's interesting. Huh. So you got the parent and child just relaxing together. Definitely an underrated Pokemon, Zorua. I really like it. There's the Zoroark of 5-band graphics. Doing a little claw strike at us. Trickster GX. Sneaky, sneaky. Got Yveltal here. Hanging out in a destroyed forest. Not a single leaf on those trees. Makes sense though, it is the destruction Pokemon. I was never able to figure out exactly what Yveltal is supposed to be. It kind of looks like a bird, but then like its face kind of reminds me of a reptile. Very, very strange. Then we got Hoopa here. This is its super duper form or whatever it is where it gets all massive. I don't really know much about Hoopa and how it turns into this form or anything. I should look into that sometime. Shining Rayquaza. Honestly, for a Shining card, not the best artwork. It's okay, but I feel like they could have done a lot more with this one. I think it looks better in person than when you see the shine on it. I will give it that. Here's Shining Arceus. Not bad. Like how it's glowing gold, and then you got that purple background. Makes it look like the cosmos or something. Koki Saito. Alright, we got the Damage Mover. Energy Retrieval. Card's been around for a while. Great Ball. Basic looking. There's How. From almost Sun and Moon. Lily. It's not letting me click on these ones for some reason. What the heck's going on here? What the? For whatever reason, I can't click and get close on these ones, y'all. Pokemon Breeder. Pokemon Catcher. Sophocles. Super Scoop Up. Switch. Ultra Ball. Ultra Ball again. Double Colorless Energy. Warp Energy. Okay, let's figure out what's going on here. Why can't I get close on these cards? See if I can do it now. Huh. Well, that's awkward. So I can do it on that one. But then I can't on these ones. Oh, there we go. Okay. So there's the Entei GX close-up 5-band. And we got the Mewtwo GX. This is the same artwork as they used for the shiny Mewtwo that's in Hidden Fates. I have that card. We got the Pokemon Breeder. I didn't realize there was a Miltank in the background of this card. That's kind of cool. Just got a lasso there. Howdy, y'all. This card's actually better than I thought it was. Got Entei GX Rainbow. I really do think a lot of these rainbows look better than the full arts. Raichu GX. Not bad. There's the Rainbow Mewtwo. Zoroark GX. I don't know, y'all. Sometimes I feel like I miss the old Rainbow cards. They weren't that bad. People used to love them, then they hated them. Wait a second. This isn't in this set. I don't know what that's all about. I think this was like a promo card you could get in a box back in like 2019. Oh, and here's the Mewtwo GX. People love this card by Mitsuhiro Arita. And look, you can see some wiring in the background of this tube that looks like DNA. You got the blue and red crossing over each other. I never noticed that before. And then back over here, we got some schematics of Mewtwo up on the wall. And the funny thing is, if you look at the Unified Mindset, there's a Mewtwo and Mew GX card, and it depicts Mew actually breaking Mewtwo out of this tube, so they go together. And that card is also done by Mitsuhiro Arita, so fun fact. Anyways, that's Shining Legends. Not a bad set. Standout cards for me, definitely the Mewtwo, like this Pokemon breeder. And of course the Shiny Mew, this one's classic. Gotta love that card. Pikachu's pretty good. This Jinx is weird. Like the Raikou a lot. And there's definitely some cool stuff in here. Not a bad set at all. Oh, and then obviously this one. I like this card a lot, the Golurk. Anyways, thanks for watching. If you like this video, leave me a like. Feel free to subscribe to the channel. And I will see you in my next video. Don't forget to hit notifications and let me know what your favorite card is that we looked at today. Take care.